Welcome to the very first episode of JS Podcast. I'm your host, Som,
And I'm your host, Joe.
and we're just kind of testing our podcast. So today I'm just gonna interview Joe.
Oh dear.
Okay, we're just gonna go straight into it because we don't wanna make this podcast too long. So Joe, you're my guest today. I guess we want to do this podcast in the way that we want to ask about fighters' mindset, pre-fight nerves, all the struggles that fighters have that they don't usually talk about, just to make everyone feel that we are human too. We do have feelings and emotions. So obviously everyone know you're fighters, you're professional fighters, you're lioness. But I think there are certain things that people don't know about you, and I think it's very interesting. So let's start with your childhood, because I don't think that a lot of people know that you actually had a rough childhood. So Joe, tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I guess let's start from my childhood. It goes deep to when I was born. Basically, my family, I grew up in a pretty toxic environment. This was filtered by abuse, violence, and constant fear of myself, I guess.
So hang on. So this is from your family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not gonna say about the details, but pretty much your dad. Is that right?
Yeah. So ever since it was like a constant thing for probably all the way till I hit high school. So it was many years of it. I guess also, especially if your family's been in this situation, usually mothers won't leave their partners. They always come back to their partner. Even if they leave, they always end up coming back. So it takes a long while for a victim of domestic violence to actually understand when to leave, especially when they feel vulnerable in these situations.
So your dad did this to your mom and yourself and your siblings.
Yeah.
So you also travel a lot to actually escape from this. Tell us a little bit where you've been and why you ended up here.
Yeah. So if you didn't know already, I was actually born in South Australia. We were raised up on a farm. The violence sort of started then, and then my mum decided to flee and decided to go to Melbourne. So she upped and left with 3 kids, all by herself, and then it didn't end there. So he ended up leaving the farm and then following us to Melbourne. It was okay for the first couple of years, and then things happened again, and we moved from schools to schools. Sometimes I moved maybe 20 schools in 2 years. So it was quite hard for me to adapt myself in the schooling system, because I was moving schools so constantly because we were just running from my dad. And that ended up causing us to leave to go to Sydney. But then, of course, we had a couple years away from my dad, and then my dad found us again. But this time round, when he found us, this was probably the worst one yet. I won't go into details, but so after what happened, we actually fled to go to the US, and we moved back home with my mum's family, which all her siblings and her mum and dad lives.
Yeah. And that's here.
No. So we moved to the US. So we moved to California.
Yeah. And then from there you move here.
Yeah. So we lived in the US for 3 years, and then we ended up coming back here one last time. Yeah.
And now you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So how your childhood experience affected who you are today or the fighter you are today?
To be honest, during that time, like, I would say I was like a mess. Like, I blamed myself for everything. I had no confidence in myself to think that I could do anything, because I just always thought it was me to blame because I was the oldest of all three. But I think what saved me was probably Muay Thai. Muay Thai was the one thing that caused me to grow as a person, and from that and from through fighting, I actually built my confidence through that, and I wouldn't be where I am today without this sport, because I would probably be in a different position if I didn't have Muay Thai, to be honest.
So Muay Thai saved you
Yeah.
in a way, but I think that's very inspiring, Joe, because you know we see a lot of people use their childhood as an excuse to do bad things, but you're actually the opposite. You actually have a really rough childhood, but you know you're an amazing fighter, you're a business owner, entrepreneur. So I think it shows that you can choose your path no matter what your past is. I think that's very inspiring story. So that's why I want you to tell people. Okay, let's talk about pre-fight nerves, because everyone has it. I have it really bad, but you are actually pretty special. So you don't really have pre-fight nerves. Joe, tell us a little bit, like, what do you feel on your fight week leading up to the fight, and how do you feel 1 or 2 hours before the fight?
Okay, well, I wouldn't say I don't have nerves, but like, I think in my first like couple of fights, oh my God, I used to get nervous so badly that I would sit there and shake in the back room. But the thing is, as the years progress and the more I learnt about Muay Thai, it's not just about the physical side and about the training. It's actually about the mindset. The mindset is one of those things that we don't think about, especially back in the days. We only like learnt to train hard and not really think about what our mind is doing. And our mind is actually a very powerful thing, especially when your thoughts are, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Am I ready for this fight? And especially when those negative thoughts kick in, that's when you sort of backpedal and you're like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Oh my God. And that's when those feelings sink in, that is when you could go into a pretty bad place, I think. But I think I learned how to navigate my thoughts, especially before a fight, is like changing those like words that you say to yourself. Is like, oh, I'm so nervous for this fight. There's so much negative connotations to that, because you're saying, oh, I'm so nervous. But actually, if you say I'm excited, those two feelings are exactly the same. If you've been around me, I always say this because I think that was one of those self-talks that I do to myself and help me when I am getting ready for a fight.
Yeah. I actually read a book about that as well, that they actually said that the body has the same effect. Either you're nervous or you're excited, it's like really the same feeling. You just have to navigate what you talk to yourself. Okay. That's good. Like, what about you have your fight day ritual? I know that you have to do the same thing. Pretty much you get pie from this shop every time, every fight. Tell us what's your fight day is like.
So it just depends on what time I get my braids done. But I usually get my braids about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock PM, and then I go out to get my pie.
Yeah, where did you get your braids done? Let's shout out to our amazing braid lady.
So Alicia Jones, she's actually an amazing pole dancer. If you don't know her already, please follow her on Instagram. She's amazing. She's done my hair for the last couple of years, and she's just an amazing human. Like, she has 2 kids, husband, dog, and she is competing at the professional level, and she's just balancing hair braiding on the side as well, and also comps and all the other stuff that she does. So
Yeah, like going to see her on the day and she's braiding your hair and she's talk about stuff actually help with your pre-fight nerve. So go see her if you're in the West. Okay, next. So you get your hair done
and then I go to this not even a local store anymore, but on Brunswick Street. I actually don't even know the name of the place. How bad is that? They actually don't have a name on top of the thing, but I can find out for you, but we'll put it below. But I always get the steak pie, and also I don't know why, but I get spinach and cheese triangle thing that they have there. It's so good, and I have a coffee there, and then I'm like walking around, and then from there I just either go to Som's house and we just chill out, watch random stuff, and just rest until the fight.
we also open for sponsors. If you're a pie shop, Joanne will take that sponsored, so contact us. Yeah, okay. So yep, you chill until the fight. What about the first two, like the few hours before entering the ring? Because I know that's actually the worst fear I've ever faced in my entire life. It's actually the last few hours before entering the ring. Like, how do you normally feel?
I think like depending on the fight, but I'm a roller coaster. Sometimes I'm super pumped, and then I'm like super like low energy, not in a negative way, but it's like I'm just like, oh my god, I feel it in my stomach, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm happy again, and I'm like talking smack with Som, or like we just talk about random stuff, and then I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good again, and then it's like that all leading up to the fight. But some days I'm better than others, and I guess like everyone feels the same way, but it's the way you talk to yourself. Like, you're feeling this way, it's okay, your opponent's feeling the same way. Like, everyone feels these feelings. Yeah, so it's just like how you deal with it on the day. Like, for me, I get super excited because I'm like, this is an opportunity that not many people can say, hey, I jumped in the ring. So I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I can't wait to jump in there and show them what I've learned the last couple months with my team. So, yeah.
So I have to say you are an entertainer. So you see fighters walk into the ring looking tough, looking, sometimes they're in the zone, sometimes they look very serious. But you actually walk out with like, you cheer the crowd, you jump into the ring, like you're a little bit of you entertain the crowd. So what's run into your head during that time?
To be honest, once the music starts, I'm just in my element. I can't describe it. Once a song plays, if you heard it, it's actually Jessie J. Oh my God, I just had a mental break. Who You Are. If you listen to the song, it's literally my life story. And when I sing it in the back room and as I head out, it's like, this is me. Like, this song is actually me walking out to like all the adversities that I've faced in the past. Like, whatever happened in the past didn't define who I am today. I'm the writer of my story. So that's why, like, when I hear that song, I'm like, okay, it's showtime. And I don't know why, I feel like when I'm on the walkway, I feel like I'm gliding. Like, I'm gliding and I'm shining for my friends, my fans. And to be honest, like, I don't even know how this all started, but the one thing that I look back on is probably this one time, me, Vin, and Henry, we went to the city and we did 30 days rejection challenge. All three of us just like smashed this one list. It's like we went to random stores asking for free things and asking randoms to do like...
That's Vin from Honors, like the owner of Honors Martial Arts. Yep.
We used to do all these random challenges like cold showers and to just like trick your mind and like make our mind stronger. So for some reason I feel like that day sort of shaped the way I walked out. Because in the past, I'm pretty sure I used to walk down with my head down and I walk straight to the ring without my corners. Like when the music comes on, I used to just walk straight to the ring. And that was like probably the time that I didn't know that I needed to work on my mind and my mindset, especially entering the ring. But for some reason after that challenge, like the way I walked out was more calm, and I felt like I don't know, I just felt really different in the next fight after that challenge. But yeah, there's heaps of studies on it, but yeah, feel free to look at it yourself.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So let's talk about your walkout song. We talk about Jessie J's. It's represent who you are. But you also like Disney song. You walk out, you like Frozen. You're like a big fan of Disney, which is very contrasting to her character, as you know. So why Disney, Joe? Why do you like Disney?
To be honest, it's hope. Like in these movies, like there's always like, if you believe in something and you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. Especially those movies where like Mulan, like she had to like dress as a boy to go to war. Like for someone like that, like I watch it and I'm like, oh my God, that's so inspiring. Like she did it anyways, even though they said no. So like,
yeah, so all the Disney's movies inspire you. Yeah, actually all the character they actually have childhood or something happened to them and then they become who they are. So okay, can
exactly.
relate. Yeah. Let's talk about fight camp, because I think everyone wants to know. Obviously, you pretty much every fight camp, Joanne injured. So I think a lot of our fans and the fighters that are young generation actually ask this question and want me to ask you. So how do you train when you have injuries?
To be honest, you just have to work around them. We all train hard. I'm pretty sure every fight camp that I've had, like I always have a niggle somewhere, or I'm dealing with something. So all we do is make sure that your mindset is strong, your team is behind you, and we work through everything else except for that injury. So
before anyone kick with a broken foot or a broken legs, you need to explain more about that. So back in the day, you used to be the person that just pushed through your limit when you're injured, but that actually made you worse. So tell us about that and what it's actually changed from that and what you actually think about injuries now.
Yeah, so back in the days, I just pushed until I was injured, and I didn't understand why that was the case. But because my mind is so strong, I think because of my childhood, I always say, if I went through that, I can go through anything. So I keep pushing until something happens. It got to the point where I was so injured that I was out for so long, and I felt like, why am I so injured? But I love Muay Thai. I want to do Muay Thai, but I can't do it because I'm injured.
Then you start seeing physio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then I started seeing the professionals. Like we had to seek help, and that's the one thing that I probably didn't do earlier in my career, is actually seek professional help, nutritionists, strength coach, and also getting the right people behind you that understands your sport, physio, osteo, chiro, if you know any good people. These are the people that you need in your corner, especially when you're fighting, and also massages and recovery as well. Shout out to Stable Massage and Luna Massage. They sponsor me and Som, and they've looked after us throughout fight camp, and also through our career.
Yeah, thank you, Stable. Let's talk about, because there's also someone asked as well, one of your biggest fight which was for the Aussie title. You actually went through injuries, but still went on to fight and won the title. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that fight camp we pushed really hard, and 2 weeks out I tore my ankle and I wasn't able to put barely any weight on my leg. So that 2 weeks we did boxing, and I guess like when you want something so bad and you believe in yourself so much that you can just push through anything. So I literally did the rounds with Boy, and all I thought about was like, I really want this. And we got to the fight. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to kick, to be honest. So we got there, we did it, and we got the belt. We trained really hard for it, and yeah, I'm really grateful for those moments.
Yeah, it was the hard one, but obviously we were seeing the physio as well. And then if you know Jo, she actually have a powerful punches. So that's also one of the reasons we think that we could win from that. It's not that, she broke her legs or broke her bones and then she still went up and fight. So I think everything has the fine line. You need to still talk to, your physio, your doctor, and then if they said clear to go, then come to my set and then push through,
100%.
I guess. Yeah, you talk about you also work with dietitian, right? So I think one of the common struggles that fighters have in common is weight cut. So tell us a little bit about your experience to weight cutting and like what do you do now?
So I go through a nutritionist, combat dietitian. Shout out to Jack. He's helped me through literally the last couple of years, and it's been so easy to cut the weight. Back in the days, I wouldn't have gotten through a weight cut that easily with eating so much food and being able to cut the weight. Yeah,
tell them about our fight. So
dear.
That was back in the day. That was my third fight.
Yeah.
I
can't remember.
Yeah.
Like maybe.
And that was the first time you fought 52. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So she normally fought heavier, and we were fighting at 52. So she was coming down to my weight division. And what did you eat? What happened in that fight camp? Tell us a little bit.
I'll be honest. I'll be transparent with you. I had 1 egg, 1 tuna can, and also I was bulimic, so I would try to throw up everything that I ate. So even if I had like a bad day and I like had cheat meal or something, I'll just throw it all back up. So technically I had no food in my stomach. I went into the camp super dehydrated. I was in the sauna for 2 days straight, and I literally was crying in the sauna by myself. Not by myself, but I had friends around me that looked after me. But I'm like, why did I do that to myself? Like, if you feel like you are struggling with your weight cut, you probably need to call out. We're just having camera difficulties at the moment.
Okay, keep going. So what? So but now, of course, you eat so much now. Because of the dietitian.
Yeah, and
keep talking. It's still working. Just the camera.
Okay. We lost the camera, but it's okay. We'll just keep going. So yeah, I highly recommend anyone that is struggling with their weight cut and feel like they don't have the energy to complete their fight camp in a safe way. Please shoot like a dietitian a call or a message, but also make sure they understand fight camp, because some dietitians don't understand the weight cut and the protocols that we need to do leading up to the fight camp. So if you want to, Jack, our dietitian, combat dietitian, shoot him a message.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very serious topic that like young generation should know that back in the day there are not many dietitian as well, and you know there's a few cases that unfortunate
Yeah,
pass away as well. So it's a
Yeah,
serious issue that
yeah.
we think all the fighters should have dietitian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. We're not gonna talk too long because we try to keep the podcast short. What are we now? About half an hour. So let's talk about. Do you have anyone that inspire you in this journey? It doesn't have to be fighters, or it could be fighter, could be Disney character, or anyone that inspire you in this journey.
To be honest, it would be probably my mum because
I love your mom too.
yeah, she taught me empathy, love and compassion, and no matter what was in front of her, she pushed through. Like sometimes, like when we were younger, she would work a morning shift and then work an afternoon shift, work a night shift just to have food on the table. She made sure we didn't lack anything. So made sure we had education. We made sure we had a tutor. With being a single mum and raising 3 kids, now that I look back, I'm like, wow, I don't know how she did it, because like now living expenses is so expensive and she did it all by herself. And all 3 of us turned out to be well off. So, you know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Mom, I love Joe's mom. So what's next, Joe? You had a little bit of a break from last year. Are you planning to come back this year?
Yes, like I am ready now. I think I needed that little break, and I'm back with a dietitian. I've got my strength program ready to go. I'm eating better, and hopefully got something lined up maybe in August, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so stay tuned for her fight news. I guess last question would be, so you have a lot of fans. Obviously now we have a gym, we have our, members. I guess a lot of people are watching your journey, watching your story. So what do you want them to take away from your story today?
No matter what your past is, make sure you don't let that take over. Make sure that you have good people around you to support whatever dreams and ambitions you have, and then also put the work in and just get it done.
Amazing. So, yes, we're going to wrap up our first episode now. It's been about half an hour. I think that's enough. And we'll see how it turns out. And next episode, it's going to be interviews. Obviously, we're going to test it first before we actually have an actual guest coming through. But we have a few really, really inspiring people line up. So we're really excited and hope that we can make this work. So yes, thank you for listening, everyone. And we'll see you again, hopefully, in a few weeks.
See ya.
Thanks, Joe.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Bye.